the process. It is Tuesday, 20th. Wink, wink. Good day. Good day. Last night was truly ridiculous. An absolutely bonkers 9-gamer and just news on news on news. Hope everybody was able to find at least a little bit of success for last night's slate. Go Ja Morant. Go Nikola Jokic. Just a crazy slate. But anyway, we're here for a Tuesday 5-gamer. So please hit that like button as you get in the door. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. All that good stuff. We've got a good crew here already. 30 plus people. 22 plus likes. I love it. Rise and grind this morning, everybody. Let's not forget. That's what we're here for. That is what we're here for. Yeah, double OT, wild. The whole slate, just wild. News on news. I just couldn't get a handle on it. Every time I thought I was making an update, I had to make 2 more updates. And I felt pretty good about a lot of it. It just, I guess I didn't have enough Andre Iguodala. Didn't see that one coming. So I got 2 into the top 1%. Didn't matter. Honestly, felt like I should have had a little bit more, actually. The Isaiah Stewart ownership on FanDuel was very surprising to me. I understood that he was a good play. We opened up so much value that to me, he was not grading out in that same way. For him to go 50% owned, be the best play on the slate outside of, like when Ja and Jokic start going off. But for Isaiah Stewart to basically be the best play on the slate at 50+% ownership on FanDuel was a death sentence for me. I had like 25%, which was not nearly enough. Annoying. Well, we're on to another day. We've got 5 games. Wow, my stream is chippity choppity here. That's kind of annoying. Keep dropping frames. Why is that? Why am I dropping? Yeah, the Melton news didn't help. I swapped into a little bit more Grayson Allen. That was useless. Anyway, let's just get into this. We'll get into it right now. Let's get through these 5 games. We'll break them all down, and then we'll keep it on. We'll keep it moving because we want to save a little bit of energy for today's slate because tomorrow's got, I believe, 12 games, and we're gonna need all the help that we can get. Austin, can you explain why ownership matters? Yeah, this will be the easiest example, but think about it to scale. Let's say you had a 1-person contest, or you roster 1 guy. You could roster anybody from the slate. And let's say it is abundantly clear that player A, let's just call it Nikola Jokic, is the best play on the slate. We're projecting him for 65 fantasy points. And you're in a contest with 10 people. But you know that 9 of those people have already taken Nikola Jokic. Let's say that there's another guy on the slate, Joel Embiid, projected for 55 points. But nobody else has taken him because Nikola Jokic projects as the highest scorer for the slate. But with Jokic at 60 fantasy points and Embiid at 55, we know that Embiid can outscore Jokic, let's just say 20% of the time. By simply taking Joel Embiid in that scenario over Nikola Jokic, you are taking a guy that has a lower median projection, but a better chance of making you succeed in the contest. Because if Joel Embiid outscores Nikola Jokic, you will then pass everybody and go straight to the top. The same sort of principle applies in a large DFS contest, but it's why we try to talk a little bit about how you don't need to get that far away from the pack. You change one guy that's 30% owned to a guy that's 10% owned, and that could be enough. If you are thinking that those 2 guys have comparable odds of success, you always want to be able to skew to the lower owned guy because then you are competing with less lineups in the end. That's basically it. You want to be able to put yourself in a position to roster the most amount of guys you can that you think have the highest likelihood of success while also paying attention to the public so that you are going up against less and less lineups when it succeeds. All right, everybody, we've got the good crew here. We're up to 50, 38 likes. You guys are all the best. Nightbot's hanging out. Monkey Knife Fight is sponsoring this bad boy. You get a $100, 100% instant deposit match bonus of up to $100. It used to be 50, now it's 100 if you use the promo code Awesemo at Monkey Knife Fight. But let's do this. Coffee cups, joints on a day like today, obviously very, very popular. Stay away from those morning ciggies, but get your coffees out. Cheers, everybody. Let's break down this 5-gamer. Let's dive into this. So we've got 5 games. We're kicking it off with the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks are at home hosting the Orlando Magic, and they are 12.5-point favorites as of right now. Still no Hunter, no Gallo, which is important, no Reddish, no Snell, no Dunn. John Collins is back, which is exciting. So let's project out this Atlanta Hawks team. We got John Collins back the last time, played 21 minutes. I'm expecting him to be basically back to normal. So I'm going to give him 28 minutes. We'll drop down to 24 for Solomon Hill, and we'll move some stuff around if we need to. Actually, let's take him down to 12, 2 and 26, and give those back to Solomon Hill. Let's see what else we've got going on. I don't think this one's going to matter all that much. We just need to make our rate changes now that John Collins is back. Because what we do have in here now are rates that did not involve John Collins. It's good to have him back, too. I'd like Atlanta to get pretty healthy heading into the playoffs. I'm anxious to see what they can do. So we need to take off Hunter and Reddish and Gallo. That should cover me here. So no Hunter, no Reddish, no Gallo, no problemo. Trae Young in that instance, 31.6% usage. I'm going to just put him in for his normal rates, but I do need to bump up that assist rate a bit. Lou Will, gonna knock him down a hair. Kevin Huerter, I think we can go down to 18. John Collins, 25% usage in this scenario. Feels a little off. So I'm going to keep it at 24. Clint Capella should be right around 20. And then Bogdan Bogdanovic, I think we're going to need to bring back down. Most of this should look good. Obviously not a great matchup against Orlando. Like, they are loaded with defensive guys. And as we look at Atlanta, Trae Young looks okay on both sites. Well, he looks pretty good, actually, on DraftKings. He looks a little bit less so on FanDuel, but still the best option from Atlanta. Clint Capella, not too shabby, 9,400 and 9,100. John Collins is a little overpriced on FanDuel, but 6,500 on DraftKings works. I don't mind getting the John Collins here. I think John Collins in 28 minutes could be an interesting value on a 5-gamer against this Orlando team. But there aren't any prizes coming out of the Hawks today, so we will keep it moving. Gerald, I agree that this ratio is pretty nice right now. We're on to Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Nets on the road, taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Nets are 2.5 dogs. Is everybody out? No Harden, no Durant, no Claxton. Wood piece. Yes, I will be celebrating. I don't have a preferred method. I'm in for all of it. Alrighty, so all we have is Kyrie. I think we need to start that from scratch since we don't have Nick Claxton out for health and safety protocols. Ooh, where's the tunes? There we go. I am dropping frames like crazy. This is nuts. There's a decent chance that we don't make it through this show. I don't know what the deal is. All right, so we know that Kyrie is obviously going to be playing a pretty healthy chunk of minutes with none of the big guns in here. So let's go ahead and lock him into 35. And then DeAndre Jordan's just going to have to play like a decent amount, I guess. Yeah, I figure like 22 minutes for DeAndre Jordan feels pretty correct. We get Jeff Green in. We get Blake Griffin in for probably 26 minutes. Brandon Buchanan, that's outstanding, man. Finished second, won $3,000 last night in the 4-point play on DraftKings. First ever top 5 finish. That's what I like to hear, man. Congratulations. Enjoy that, man. Enjoy it. Take a little something out. Buy yourself something nice. But enjoy it. That's awesome. Really happy for you, man. Of course I do, Shaquem. Of course I do. All right, we'll get Joe Harris his minutes. Shaquem, it's EDM. Seems like the easiest background music, and it's usually the easiest stuff to find that doesn't have any sort of like copyright problems. Get Alize Johnson some run here. Backup point guard, I guess we're just gonna call Bruce Brown. Give Bruce Brown his 30. We'll give Landry Shamet, I don't know, 29. Give TLC 22. If I can. Who was Anker or whatever his name was last night? He's a guy that's in chat a lot. And, you know, to me, generally speaking, a nice guy, but he's using it to his own benefit now. And we're not here to prop anybody else up, you know? So there are some rules to this game. All right, minutes are in for Brooklyn. Pretty normal. But I think that we're going to see like Bruce Brown, Joe Harris, Kyrie Irving popping up a little bit here. But I do want to pop in these new rates with none of the studs on the floor. This should be pretty good. So we need to take off James Harden, Kevin Durant, LeVert, Allen, Prince, Shaquem. There we go. Doubling up on no house advantage. That's the way to do it, my man. That is the way to do it. Do I got to take anybody else off? Probably not. Kyrie gets up to 33% usage. So that's pretty good to see. Also a monstrous assist rate. So Kyrie Irving is grading out pretty well right now. Blake Griffin in this scenario, 20.6% usage. Okay, so can't go too crazy there. Anybody else get big usage? Landry Shamet, oddly enough. So let's bump up Landry Shamet just a little bit. Make him be something. Does Joe Harris get the bump? 19% usage. Bump him up a little bit more. All right, so here we go. Brooklyn, slight dogs, actually, in New Orleans. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this for sure. Kyrie, I think, is going to look pretty good and will likely be one of my favorite plays of the day. I think he looks really good on FanDuel, really good on DraftKings. Kyrie with basically Harden and Durant off the floor. 34% usage, 1.48 FanDuel points per minute, big time assist rate. I've got him at 1.47. That is exactly where he's been with these guys off the floor. I don't think that would be any different for New Orleans. So I am really, really liking Kyrie Irving today. Ooh, Ken, you just said homemade pizza. That's a good idea. I might make some homemade pizza today. Austin, we don't normally do free trials. They get abused pretty aggressively. My recommendation would be this. We have weekly packages. I don't like telling people how to spend their money, but you can try a weekly package. You can cancel it the moment you subscribe if you want. It doesn't have to auto renew. You can just get in for a week. I think that would be your best bet. I mean, there are times where we'll run promos for, cheaper costs for a month and for a week, but we don't generally do any free trials because they get abused pretty bad. All right, Kyrie Irving at the top of the heap here. I'd be surprised if he's not my favorite play. Bruce Brown, Joe Harris, both close. DeAndre Jordan on DraftKings at 3,900, also pretty close. Yeah, I've got the pizza oven now. I should make some pizza. I haven't made it in, it's been weeks. I haven't made it since before my wife's birthday, so that was March. But maybe I'll make some dough this afternoon. Make a pizza or two for dinner tonight. Seems like a good day for it. All right, Charlotte Hornets. Now, for the Hornets, we got a Q tag on Devontae Graham and still no Ball, Hayward, and Monk, but we do need to talk out a little bit. Trey, we offer one piece of content free each day. It's not the same content. It's usually they rotate through like once every 2 weeks. Oh, I'm gonna make my dough, Jerry. Devontae Graham questionable here. We found out yesterday LaMelo Ball is going to be able to come back. It's looking like we're going to see him soon enough. So that's exciting for the Hornets and for potentially the Rookie of the Year race. I need LaMelo Ball to come back and be good enough to make sure that Anthony Edwards doesn't win it. I don't need that embarrassment in my life. All right, so I guess we need to put Devontae Graham back out there, which means we need to change this entire rotation. Gerald, appreciate you being here. All right, so we'll get Devontae Graham in for 30 minutes. We'll say that Scary Terry backs him up, gets another 36. Ty, that was just for a month. See, I wouldn't be doing Chicago style, Jerry. I would be doing more like Neapolitan style. Alrighty. Starting center. Are we going to assume that it's Vernon Carey? Does it even matter? Do something like this. Let's say we're going to get 30 minutes for PJ Washington. We'll get 36 minutes for Bridges. We'll get 30 minutes for Jalen McDaniels. All right, who else are we missing? So we got Devontae Graham back in. Oh, I still got to get Wanamaker his minutes. We'll say 18 for Caleb Martin, 20 for Cody Martin. I think we're good there. Rates should all be fine, I guess. Although I guess we should probably look at it for Terry Rozier with just what's his name on, just Graham on. So we want to take Ball off, Hayward off, Monk off. Ooh, homemade mozzarella sticks sounds good. Yes, you do. Got to roll. You got to slowly work that dough. I got okay at it. I can make a decent pizza. All right, Devontae Graham with these guys off 24% usage. Take it up to 23. Terry Rozier 27.5. Does see an assist rate bump though. Does Devontae Graham? He does. And then PJ Washington, I think, just kind of holds true to his normal stuff. I think the rest of this is all going to be fine. So for Charlotte, we got Charlotte at the Knicks, 5.5-point dogs, 209 total. Probably not going to look a lot here. Austin, no, it's almost 7 o'clock. I'm on the East Coast. All right, so Terry Rozier, 7,800 and 8K. I'm in for both of those guys. For that guy, rather. Both sites looks fine. Nothing too crazy. Kind of looking a lot like Trae Young. So if we want to sum that up, we've had what? Atlanta, Brooklyn, Charlotte. And Atlanta, Brooklyn, Charlotte. So yeah, Kyrie is on another planet. Trae Young kind of close on DK, but still miles away. But really, like Kyrie, Bruce Brown, Joe Harris, there's not a lot to like so far in these first 3 games. So let's go to the Clippers now. Clippers on the road, taking on Portland. What do we got going for the Clips? No Bev, no Ibaka, Batum in. We should be seeing everybody else. So this should be just the normal Kawhi, PG, everything game, huh? So we'll give Zubac 26 minutes. We'll give Pat 16. Give the rest of the run to Marcus Morris. Plus another 24. 30 minutes for Reggie Jackson, 18 minutes for Rondo. We're going to need to give Batum, say, 28. That lets me get Kawhi to 35. We get Paul George to 35. And then the only guy left we have is either Kennard or Terrence Mann. Who sees those minutes? Probably more likely to be Kennard seeing a decent chunk of them. But it won't matter either way. Then we've got to just correct usage rates for these guys. Done. Everything else should just come out in the wash here. So for the Clippers against Portland, like it normally is, very little interesting stuff here. Kawhi, maybe I have Paul George a little underrepresented. But I just want to bump these guys up both to 31. But I mean, I guess Kawhi looks a little bit better on DraftKings than he does on FanDuel because he's 9,200. I'm not all that enamored in all that much from this Clippers team today. Doesn't look good. Keeping it moving off the Clippers. Guys, 103 viewers, 70 likes. You guys are doing a fantastic job of hitting that like button. Jackie, I got an Uni. I got the Uni Coda. I got this. Does a heck of a job. Minnesota, Sacramento. I assume we're going to be liking a bunch of stuff here. Towns in, Jalen Noel doubtful. Rest of this stuff should be pretty normal. This could be interesting. Let's do something like this. 35 for Towns. Rubio, 26 minutes feels okay. Jordan McLaughlin, 16 minutes. That feels okay. I've got Russell in at 28 just in case it happens, but hasn't been happening as of late. Take him to 27 instead. Who needs minutes? Wancho? Yeah, Wancho does. So let's say Russell gets those 6. And then we'll do 27 and 7. Could bump up Wancho to 18. And we'll give Jake Lehman some spillover. Yeah, Jackie, that pizza oven is oddly small. I mean, I do have a lot of space and stuff for it, but it is a pretty small form factor. Like, you could just put it on a regular table. It just takes a propane tank. All right, all these rates for Minnesota should be good. So for the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'd say Jaden McDaniels on FanDuel would be my favorite option. And I use that term favorite a little loosely. Towns and Edwards, the other 2 main options. Jerry, I think it was double that. Towns, McDaniels, Edwards would be the 3 guys you're focusing on most. But 6K D'Angelo Russell on DraftKings cannot be fully slept on. McDaniels is just tough because he's such a bad per minute guy. I don't really trust this Minnesota team right now, but the fact that they're playing Sacramento and Sacramento's such a bad defense, that matters. That matters here. McDaniels is 3,900 on DraftKings. Like, that is a value that's really hard to miss. Minnesota's going to be a problem today. I can feel it already. New Orleans Pelicans. We're cruising through this. Not even 7 o'clock yet. We're almost at 7. We have 75 likes. We've got 100 viewers. It's good stuff. Okay, so James Johnson, doubtful. We know we don't have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So what do we got going here for the Pellies? No James Johnson's pretty important. Najee Marshall going to see what I would imagine to be increased run. Lonzo Ball played 20 minutes and 27 minutes in his 2 games back. Got a little bit more rest. I'm going to assume he plays 30. We'll give Kira Lewis those backup 18. Eric Bledsoe is just playing bigger minutes, so I'm going to give him 32. Zion at 36 feels obvious. Steven Adams at 28 feels fine. Jackson Hayes at 18 feels fine. So then we got to worry about James Nunley. And then who else do I think is going to get run? So I'll give Nunley the backup shooting guard minutes. Najee Marshall's probably going to play like 20, 26, 28 minutes. Do something like that. Give him 26. Honestly, it feels like it should be more, but I don't know who else I would take those minutes from. I guess Jackson Hayes. Take him. Let's do that. Yeah, Jerry, you absolutely could do like a cast iron pan with, like asparagus or like snow peas or something like that and get a nice a really good char on it. I think that would be super viable. All right, I don't think James Johnson being out is going to affect rates all that much. So for now, I think that we're good to go, just projecting out as we've been for this Pelicans team. So for New Orleans, I guess Zion's at the top of the heap, but nothing too crazy. I would say Najee Marshall, 4,300 on FanDuel looks pretty good. 5K, not so much. Bledsoe would be my second choice. He's slowly creeping back into being like a functional guy, but again, probably too expensive on DK. Ingram looking a little bit better on DraftKings than he does on FanDuel. We could add in the rest of the teams and see where we stand. So would be the Clippers, Minnesota, and the Pels. Clippers, Minnesota, New Orleans. So yeah, Kyrie Irving is still my unquestioned top play. Zion moves into the 2 spot on FanDuel just ahead of Bruce Brown, but Zion, Bruce Brown, and Joe Harris all look pretty similar. Then on DraftKings, Trae Young is second, Zion third, Towns fourth. Really liking that crew of 9K guys at the top. All right, 4 to go. New York Knicks up next. Do we have any Knicks news? Alec Burks out. That's it. So we can largely follow rotations that have happened over the past 2 games. This had to be overtime, right? Yeah. This one not? No. All right, so I've got Randall in for 38 minutes. We've got Nerlens Noel in for 28 minutes. We've got Taj Gibson backing him up. Derrick Rose starting to play a little bit more, so I'm going to go 27. We've got Elfrid Payton playing about 23. That's fine. Quickly, minutes are all over the place. Ntilikina does see the floor. Reggie Bullock just needs more minutes in lieu of probably Ntilikina. So let's bump that up. And I think that we're going to be good then. The rest of these rates should all be the same. Shouldn't have anything else that we need to change. Oh, Jerry, charred Brussels sprouts. That's a vegetable in my house like 2 or 3 nights a week. Which stats are used to build a player pool? If you're using Awesemo.com, I mean, I don't ever build a player pool per se, but the guys that rank highest in optimal percentage are going to be the guys you want the most. All right, so for the Knicks, RJ Barrett actually on FanDuel at 5,800 would be my favorite Knick. Julius Randle not too far behind, though. They're basically the same, just very different in price tag. But I'm fine with Barrett and Randle. I think Bullock looks like a decent value at 3,800, but you just got to hope that the game breaks correctly. Nerlens Noel for 4,500, though, on DraftKings is another viable option. We don't have too much coming out of the Knicks here, but we have good filler, and I think that's really all that you can ask for. So, like, you know, like Randall comes in 5th, but this pack of guys right here is all pretty similar. Yeah, Ken, I do Brussels sprouts in the oven for me as well. 450 oven, 10 minutes, toss them in olive oil, salt and pepper, and then, you know, whatever else you want to add. Obviously, bacon, pancetta, going to be pretty good. Any type of garlic you want to do. Shallots, obviously, help out a lot there. I love the cook, so. All right, 3 more to go. Orlando Magic. No James Ennis, no Terrence Ross, Michael Carter-Williams, or Otto Porter Jr. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull all of this stuff, and then we'll get it going, because this is going to be a true blast. So we know that Cole Anthony is just going to have to play a bunch. I'm giving him 32 minutes. And then backup point guard run is basically going to have to be Chasson Randle to start. We know that Wendell Carter Jr. will be the starting center. I think he plays 30 minutes, and I think Mo Bamba backs him up directly. That's easy so far. We also know that Chuma Okeke is going to be the guy that gets a ton of run. I'm going to give him 30 minutes right now. We'll see where we end up after that. RJ Hampton has been playing pretty decent run. I'm going to continue to give him 20, and we'll see where that has to break after if we have any additional minutes left. Feel pretty comfortable saying Gary Harris plays 30 minutes. And it seems pretty reasonable that Dwayne Bacon would also play 30 minutes. So let's do something like that. And like that. And then we need to figure out who of Robert Franks or Dante Hall is going to get additional run. It's probably Dante Hall. So let's give Dante Hall 18 minutes. And then we need to just spread out 16 additional minutes, I think. Unless we think that Devin Kennedy plays, which it seems like he would. But I do want to bump up Chase and Randall. No, I think 16 for Randall is going to be fine. I do want to bump up RJ Hampton, though, to 22 and then give 14 minutes to Devin Kennedy. Who the hell knows what's going to look good for Orlando here? Because we got guys that haven't even been on the team playing. I don't even know who to give the usage to. I use avocado oil for searing all the time. Costco sells it, so we get a lot of it. I don't even know who to take off here for Orlando. So Vooch, Ross, Fournier, Michael Carter Williams. It's a good tip, Ghetto Farmer Boy. That's my wife's jam. I don't do it depending on how big if the Brussels sprouts are big, I will do that. If they're relatively small, then I won't do that because to me they overcook too quickly. But you do get a really good char in those cases. All right, so Cole Anthony does get that sort of usage bump, so I'm going to let that go. Dwayne Bacon usually sees some pretty big usage. I think Gary Harris might also see a little bit of a usage bump. Cole Anthony, 24.5. I got to go higher than that. I think everything else seems like it would be okay here. I thought that we might get a little bit more Wendell Carter here, but I don't think we're going to. I guess we could bump up Mo Bamba just a little bit too. All right, so for Orlando, Cole Anthony, 5,600 and 6K on FanDuel and DK respectively would be my preferred option here. Dwayne Bacon is 3,800 on FanDuel, 4,200 on DraftKings. He would be second, and I wouldn't like it. Wendell Carter Jr., Gary Harris would be the next two options. Probably not getting to anybody else. God, Orlando stinks. 2 to go. Portland Trailblazers. Portland is without Dame Lillard, without Yusuf Nurkic, clearly without Zach Collins, but this should be pretty good. So we know what we're getting out of CJ. That would be something in the neighborhood of 38 minutes. So we're good there. Actually, you know what? Let's just pull everything here and rebuild it. So Anthony Simons played 30 minutes and 29 minutes with no Dame. I'm going to give him 28, and then I'll give CJ the backup run plus another 18. I'll give Norm Powell 30. He played 38 and 38, so I'm going to give him 38 again. I think we get Cantor. So Cantor played 16.5 and 25.5, but Nurkic was in for both. So I think that we go right back to Cantor playing 30. And then I think that we can assume against the Clippers, anybody could really be the backup center here. So, wow, Rondé Hollis Jefferson is on this team now? Did not know that. Gonna have to add him. Do I have him anywhere? Yep, on Minnesota still. Smart, Josh. All right, so back to Portland. We need to give Rondé Hollis Jefferson some run. We're going to say that he's the backup center, plus a couple extras. Obviously, Melo is going to get his kind of normal 26 minutes a game. And then Robert Covington is going to get his sort of 32. We'll get Nas Little in for 16. And Derek Jones Jr. in for 10. And then we're going to pull some new rates for Portland. Jerry, I have that same issue. I can't eat like regular avocado. The oil is fine, but I generally try to avoid avocado. If it's in like a sushi roll or something, I try not to worry about it too much. But I can't do an avocado toast. It's an oral allergy syndrome, generally speaking, related to a birch pollen. No Cantor. All right, so rates for these crazy guys. Oh, I guess we should take Hood off as well. I'll leave Gary Trent on since he's not a big usage guy. All right, so CJ. Not a lot of time with no Hood, no Cantor, no Lillard, but oddly enough, staying at the same rate. Can I put Hood back on? Oh, why am I taking Cantor off? I need to take Nurkic off. No wonder that looked weird. Yeah, Cantor. I got that Andre Drummond. Now I have that for a lot of things. Like I can't eat like raw apples, raw strawberries. I can't touch raw potatoes. I get like really, really itchy. But I could eat like an apple pie. It's so weird. Doesn't matter if it's cooked. All right, so CJ with no Lillard, no Nurk gets to 32% usage. I'm going to take it to 31 because I think Norm Powell is going to affect that a little bit. He's at 22, but there's no way I'm putting him at 22, so we'll go to 23. Cantor with these guys off gets to 19, so we'll go 18 and a half. Melo, I'm sure, takes a bump. Yeah, 25. Anthony Simons is at 20. Robert Covington isn't at anything important. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, I'm sure, isn't at anything important. CJ assist rate bump? Is that a thing? I guess it is, but not too crazy. Yeah, it happened like in my teenage years. So like I used to eat apples and fruit like all the time, and then it just sort of stopped. It like all of a sudden I just couldn't do it. And again, it's not like I need like an EpiPen and go into shock or anything like that. It's just like a really big irritant for a half hour. It sucks. So I guess I don't have any other rates that I need to really change for these guys. Nobody gets like the biggest big bump. Cantor's like, yeah, I guess Cantor grabs some additional boards. I think we're playing a lot of Enes Cantor today. Yeah, Cantor is 5,500 on FanDuel, 6,100 on DraftKings. Looks great. CJ, 8,100 on FanDuel, 8,900 on DK. Looks great. Norm Powell, 6,200 and 6,400. I think we can get to Simons as value, but Portland is very, very important tonight. We have one more team to go, but we just look at Portland and Orlando. Look where Portland shows up now. So we got Irving, Cantor, CJ on FanDuel. That's the three-man core. Those are my three favorite plays by a mile. They will make up the most of my exposure. On DraftKings, it's still Irving at the top, but I've got Trae Young and CJ as equals. Cantor barely behind him. Norm Powell barely behind them. So Trae Young gets into it on DraftKings, but on FanDuel, the core three: Irving, Cantor, McCollum. We still have one more team to go. Let's knock out Sacramento and then run some crunches. So for the Sacramento Kings, no Holmes, no Bagley, no Woodard, so we don't have any real news here. We've been without Holmes for 3 straight games now, so everything here should look pretty similar. Whiteside has played sort of all over the place in minutes. Damian Jones didn't play the last time out. So I'm going to say that Whiteside plays 22 minutes. Who else played the 5? Oh, Metu. Metu played 17 minutes. Actually, I'm going to start this one over. Let's get everybody out that doesn't need to be there. All right, so De'Aaron Fox, 37 minutes. I'm okay with that number. Actually, should it be 38? Yeah, it should probably be 38. 38 minutes for De'Aaron Fox. We're going to keep Buddy Hield at 33. We're going to say Tyrese Halliburton gets... Actually, we'll give Terrence Davis those backup minutes. We'll give Halliburton 15 here and 13 here. We're going to say that Whiteside plays 22 minutes. We're going to give DeLon Wright 22 minutes. We're going to say, so we had Whiteside and Metu. Oh, they have Chris Silva? Crazy. So they're just going to Mo Harkless at the 5, I guess. That's what we're understanding here, I guess. So I'm gonna give Metu 12. And then we'll get to Mo Harkless at 28. Let's see who else we got. Oh, so I still got to give Barnes his 38 minutes. And that leaves me 9 minutes left over for random people. Am I missing anybody? I don't think so. I mean, I guess Terrence Davis got more run, so be happy to give it to him. Won't really matter. Throw a couple more minutes at Damian Jones. All of these rates should be fine, though. We're going to be liking a lot of Sacramento Kings here. No surprise, though. Yeah, De'Aaron Fox, 9,900, 9,800. But in a matchup against Minnesota, pace up spot, terrible defense. To me, that has to happen. Hey, 140 viewers, 88 likes. Can we get north of 100 before we start running those crunches? If you guys haven't hit the thumbs up yet, I would appreciate it. Wouldn't be mad. Would not be mad about it at all. Look, Whiteside looks okay, but I mean, it's going to be really hard to get to Whiteside over Cantor. Obviously, you can get to Harrison Barnes at huge minutes all the time, but Fox looks like the true prize here. Got him at 1.35 fantasy points per minute. Even if I want to walk that down a little bit, which probably isn't the worst idea in the world. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit more realistic. All right, let's run some crunches, everybody. Up to 96, so you guys listened immediately. I appreciate you guys. We're going to get over this 100 in no time. Drink a little bit more coffee as well. All right, first one up. FanDuel optimal lineups. I think we know what quite a bit of this is going to look like. But Kyrie Irving, Cole Anthony, CJ McCollum, Bruce Brown, Norm Powell, Joe Harris, Zion Williamson, Harrison Barnes, Enes Kanter. That lineup is locked and loaded. Like, that is, I might play that right now. I love it. That just looks good. There's basically no surprises there. That's exactly who I would want to be in it. Super balanced. Raw point ceiling, game stacking. I'm in for all of it. Let's look at the power rankings. That's a good lineup. It's a damn good lineup. Morning, Theodore. All right, power rankings on FanDuel. Not that we're surprised by this. Kyrie Irving at the top. CJ McCollum second. Then a bit of a drop off to Cole Anthony. Then a bit of a drop again to De'Aaron Fox, Julius Randle, Harrison Barnes. We got Enes Kanter, Zion Williamson, Norm Powell, Joe Harris, Kawhi Leonard, Jaden McDaniels, Bruce Brown, and R.J. Barrett. Yeah, Fox is expensive, but I mean, 59, 66, 58, 53. Like, he can get there. He's playing monster minutes, taking 30 shots a game. If he gets to the line a lot, if the assists are good, it's a good spot. And 5-game slate, so raw points matters. But that's FanDuel. Now let's take a look at DraftKings. And then we'll get out of here in under an hour, which is honestly kind of nice. Projections in. Optimal lineup on DK. See, I told you, we're going to have a lot of energy left over for tomorrow's 12-gamer. Optimal lineup on DraftKings. Cole Anthony, Kyrie Irving, Bruce Brown, Jaden McDaniels, Enes Kanter, Trae Young, Norm Powell, Anthony Simons. I mean, none of that's really all that surprising. You get Jaden McDaniels and Simons as like relatively high minute sub 4K guys. There's not a ton of value out there yet. A little surprised to not see CJ out there, but he is more expensive on DraftKings at 8,900. But that is the optimal right now. So let's take a look at power rankings, then we'll get out of here. Jeff, good luck to you as well. Power rankings are stabilizing pretty quick. And we're pretty tight at the top, all things considered, but it's looking like, ooh, Norm Powell making a run. It's going to be tight down the line. Who will win? Cole Anthony, Norm Powell. Am I on the strategy show, Double R? Yes, I am. Should be me and Laffy. I'm on every strategy show. Except for Saturdays. But Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you get me. Sometimes with Laffy, sometimes with Adam, sometimes with other Adam. This weekend was with the boss man, Alex Baker. Rinpack from time to time. But it's always me. That's my show. Cole Anthony, Kyrie Irving, Norm Powell, Enes Kanter, Anthony Simons, CJ McCollum, Jaden McDaniels, Dwayne Bacon, D'Angelo Russell, Zion Williamson, De'Aaron Fox, Kawhi Leonard, Trae Young, and Bruce Brown. Rounding out everything, which means we are done. Guys, thank you so much for being here. 5-game slate is pretty easy. I'll have updates up throughout the day. No live before lock for me tonight, though. Not mad about that. Do have a haircut coming up after the strategy show, so it'll be nice to get a nice little fresh cut, get a little bit of a cleanup. That'll help. Yeah, so keep your eyes peeled. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman if you don't already, so you can get updates to the sim results. I'm gonna go crank out the contenders videos and get prepped for the strategy show. And then, yeah, guys, enjoy your Tuesday, April 20th innuendos there. Have some fun with it. Be safe. Eat good food. And I'll talk to you guys later.